I still remember that old wooden door at the end of our hallway. It was always locked. For as long as I can remember, my parents never allowed anyone inside that room. Not even me. Whenever I asked, they would just say, "It's nothing important, just storage." But something about their eyes told me it was a lie. Growing up, I heard strange things at night. Footsteps, even when everyone was asleep. A faint light sometimes slipped from under that door. But every morning, it was normal again.
Silent. Locked.
I stopped asking questions, but I never stopped wondering. Years passed. I grew older. The house stayed the same. And that door never opened. Until the day everything changed. It was after my father passed away. The house felt emptier than ever. My mother stopped talking much. She spent most of her time sitting alone in the living room, staring at nothing. One evening, I noticed something unusual. The key to that room was on the kitchen table. For the first time in my life, it wasn't hidden. My hands were shaking as I picked it up. My heart was racing. I felt like I was doing something forbidden, something I could never undo. Slowly, I walked down the hallway. Every step felt heavier than the last. The door was still the same.
Old. Silent.
Waiting. I inserted the key. It turned smoothly. The lock clicked, and for a moment, everything went silent. I pushed the door open. Dust filled the air. The room had clearly not been touched for years. But then I saw something that made me freeze. It wasn't storage. It was a perfectly preserved room, like someone still lived there.
A bed. Clean sheets.
A chair facing the window. And on the wall, dozens of photographs. Photographs of me. From childhood to recent years. My breath stopped. I stepped inside slowly, my eyes scanning every corner. Then I noticed something worse. A small notebook on the bed.
My name was written on it.
My hands trembled as I opened it. The first line made my world collapse. If you are reading this, it means you were finally ready to know the truth. My heartbeat echoed in my ears. I turned the pages slowly. And what I read next changed everything I believed about my family. The room wasn't storage. It was a monitoring room. My entire childhood had been watched. Not in a cruel way, but in a controlled way. Every moment, every decision, every mistake documented. Because, according to the notebook, I was never raised like a normal child. I was part of something planned. Something my parents never wanted me to discover too early. My legs gave out. I sat on the floor, unable to process it. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow.
Familiar.
I turned around. My mother was standing at the door. And for the first time in my life, she wasn't crying. She was calm. She looked at me and said softly, "Now you understand why that room was locked."